It took nearly 6 days, but tonight the only airport in Port-au-Prince is finally able to operate around the clock, accommodating up to 100 flights a day. This despite the fact that the control tower and the terminal were so badly damaged in Tuesday's earthquake that U.S. Air Force Special Operations troops are still running air traffic control from a folding table in the dirt by the runway using radios. And because there's only one runway and only room for about 6 parked large planes, vital aid is being delayed. Case in point, that inflatable hospital we talked about last week, like this one. Doctors Without Borders tried to deliver an inflatable hospital like this weekend. While one flight carrying supplies and part of the hospital was allowed to land, a plane with the other part of the inflatable hospital that was meant to land in Port-au-Prince on Saturday morning instead got diverted to the Dominican Republic, which forced Doctors Without Borders to drive half of their inflatable hospital on the somewhat treacherous land route across the island from the Dominican Republic into Haiti, where it finally arrived this morning, 48 critical hours late. And it is not just the insufficient airport that's causing delays. The seaport is still closed tonight. The earthquake not only destroyed the main dock, it submerged the quay and toppled cranes. It may have also dumped debris into the harbor. And what's important about that is that it would leave aid ships at risk of running aground if they tried to use that port. Today, the USNS Grasp, a Navy salvage ship, arrived in Port-au-Prince. Its divers immediately started surveying the shipping routes, preparing to remove any dangerous debris. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Oak, is also on the scene, leading the port recovery efforts with cranes and other equipment to restore operations. The military says it hopes to have the port actually open within the next 2 to 3 days. I'm joined now by phone from Haiti with the commanding officer of the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Oak, Commander Mike Glander. Commander, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it, sir.
Hi, Rachel.
From what you are seeing at the port so far, what do you think might be a realistic time frame for reopening operations there?
Well, of course, it's difficult to make a very accurate guess. I can tell you that we spent most of the day today at the one remaining pier in Port-au-Prince terminal that did not fall into the water, and we spent them with Navy salvage and dive teams. They dove under the pier to assess the structural integrity of that pier. We're encouraged that based on some preliminary investigations of that, the Haitian government is going to allow the very slow and careful offload of a Catholic Services relief barge, which is going to be distributed through the World Food Program.
We just dropped
tomorrow morning.
We just dropped the line there for a second, but I believe what you said was that one relief barge is going to be able to offload its cargo tomorrow morning?
Yes, the plan is to begin offloading that barge very slowly. And the concern here would be that any premature offloading to the remaining actually cause it further damage or destroy it before birds have a chance to come in and strengthen it and make it very useful.
In terms of the Coast Guard personnel and the strategy that's involved in trying to bring this seaport back into working order, what are the specific skills that you're bringing to bear on this problem? Obviously, you've got divers, but what other sorts of personnel and specific skills are you bringing to bear on this?
Well, you're right. It's such a huge and complex effort. Ports and maritime transportation systems are the Coast Guard's expertise, and today we received a special maritime transportation system recovery unit. This is a team of Coast Guard officers. This issue until they get it solved, both the physical issues pertaining to the pier structures, as well as all the people issues, getting stakeholders together and making sure that everybody in that entire transportation chain is getting back to work and getting this port open. We recognize how critical it is to open up this relief pipeline, and the maritime transportation system is absolutely vital to that.
Are there physical dangers to your crew and to the other Coast Guard personnel who are doing this? It seems like in a sort of unknown situation where you are documenting the damage. You don't know what damage is there before you arrive. How dangerous is this mission?
Well, it's dangerous. Many Coast Guard missions are. Today we offloaded about 60,000 bottles of bottled water donated by Pepsi. That's a heavy lift operation. That's always dangerous. We sent medical personnel ashore to help with some direct medical aid that's being performed at the Haitian Coast Guard base at Killick, and that's got health. So we're trying to take as many precautions as we can to keep our people safe while doing as much as we can to aid the effort.
Commander Mike Glander, commanding officer of the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Oak, which is leading port recovery operations in Port-au-Prince. Good luck with this critical mission. We're all counting on you, and thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rachel. Good night.
Appreciate it.